Okay, we're going to end today on a good note because I know I just made a couple of pretty dark videos. One of my life goals, as a black sheep, I don't have family. I apologize for that, bro. These people fucking hate me. But one thing I do know in this life, as a fan of the culture and a child of a pretty deep culture, I want such an expansive catalog of friends because I want to go to a wedding in every culture that I can experience it in. I want to go to a wedding, a birthday party, and some kind of like holiday celebration in as many cultures as I can. That's one of my main goals. And you know, honestly, the reason why that has become such a goal for me is because I feel like that's what America is supposed to be. This is supposed to be a melting pot of culture and community that's not enmeshed under this like American term. But we are allowed to exist here in almost like, for lack of better terms, a zoo of culture. And people under this American identity can exist here and make this a place worth living in. But even better than that, we allow that separation for people to cultivate their groups and their cultures independently. But the collectivism, the community engagement, the intertwining with each other, the creation of new from being born amongst one another, all of that has such great potential to happen here. And the one thing that I keep on fucking saying is getting in the way of that is that stupid ass Nazi white supremacy shit, bro. And you guys are gonna call me racist for that? I don't know why. I mean, you guys are literal Nazis. But it's like this. It's like this. You know how basically Trump supporters would rather starve than like allow you to even eat like one piece of fruit? Like, if they had a whole entire bowl of fruit, they would rather not like throw the whole entire thing away just to make sure you don't have shit rather than giving you a piece off of theirs. Now, how can I get that out of an analogy into like a more culturally like aware sense or like culturally present sense? If we were able to do this multiculturalism shit that I'm talking about, this would be by fucking far, not only the wealthiest, but probably the most engaged, active nation on earth. Because it says, you know what, instead of course, the inception was deleting everybody who existed here and then bringing a bunch of other people here in with lies as a means of investing in this gilded American dream. If we can say, you know what, come here with your people, who you are, wherever you are, and be a part of this whole thing, this family of the world. Contribute what you can and be a part of what we're already doing here. And respect the rules that we've put up to allow this type of collaboration, this type of diversity, but still underneath this umbrella of humanity, this umbrella of love for the human, for the culture, for the consciousness. And these types of ideas have inspired the platform that I'm building. And although I might not have a traditional tech background or even like a Silicon Valley connection or anything, I know for a fact it's going to be the thing that opens up the door for so much more opportunity than we're being allowed to see here. The future of America will be decided by these old, I know you guys hate when I say it, these old white dudes who think the only version of purity and perfection and professionalism is them existing in a gang, abusing everybody else outside of their humanity, and then calling it a legal system or a political structure. Or it's going to be all the people who've been stolen, abused, assaulted, taken from these colonizers and this colonizer philosophy, or by the colonizer philosophy, finding their humanity in themselves beyond the indoctrination, beyond the trauma, beyond the abuse, and then deciding they can still take that infinity and humble it down into a community of other humans, not homogenous, but like, what's that fucking term? Just the other form of homogenous. Hetero, you know what I'm talking about. And realizing, okay, me and my identity, just because I am this identity, it doesn't mean that I have to automatically submit to that identity or to that philosophy or to what they are. I can decide what needs I have and what I'm willing to sacrifice from myself, whether it's what I can do, what I can think, what I can believe. And I'm willing to I'm going to find a community that I can almost plug myself into and allow my energy to benefit them just as much as their accommodation, their energy, their support can benefit me, myself as an individual. Like I genuinely, I'm trying to tell you guys, like I genuinely believe these like Peter Thiels and Elon Musk, they're not even looking at history. They're looking at science fiction books as to how they're going to destroy the world. That's why I guarantee you it's not going to work, what they're doing. And the best case scenario is we lose 80% of humanity. And then they just get to restart the population on like a fucked up, basically Mars. They just turn Earth into Mars and then have a slight like island or level of humanity left, level of greenery left for them to exist on. And the crazy thing is that you guys will blindly follow science fiction fans into hell, literal hell. But then the second marginalized people say, hey, you're hurting me, I don't like that, we're complaining. Hey, you know that fighting for our human rights inevitably comes back around and protects your human rights too, dummy? But again, it's final note I'll give here, and more so as it relates to the app that I'm building. And I don't even want to call it an app, it's really a platform, an ecosystem. I've built my ecosystem to go in between the human user and social media, creating our own layer of platforms, if you want to call it, to allow for this raw, authentic, creative, collaborative sense to exist, not just in America, but anywhere, before it gets absolutely destroyed and diluted when it goes automatically from the artist or the creator directly to social media. Like I've literally created my own. Instead of trying to compete with who's already existing, I said, you know what? Let me see where every single one of you guys are failing and then create my own blip in this whole fucking environment, if you want to call it that, industry really, and then just absolutely level every single one of you guys by making sure that the only value you guys have that you don't appreciate comes right back down to me. And then since I take the value that you guys don't appreciate in the sense of whether it's content creators, it's fans and users, their mental health, I can decide to create new standards of living, new standards of consciousness, new standards of collaboration and collectivism, giving people an opportunity to decide whether or not they even find any value in social media and these traditional platforms that are destroying everybody's psychology. And hopefully, again, not trying to toot my own horn too much, hopefully starting us on a path of creating more platforms that are more niche and more decentralized in the sense of the focus is intentional, authentic community engagement and production of culture and creativity that can last way longer than just right now or just the traditional algorithm. If you're an artist, a creative tech person, or just in tech, or you know somebody who's got investor money, or you just care about the creative culture, before we enter this AI artist era, I need you to come fuck with me. I need you to check out the proposal that I made on my YouTube. Get your attention span fixed up for that, especially if you're trying to work for a nigga. Because the plans is already there. We just need people now. Really, we just need people and capital. I'm the visionary of this shit, so as long as I'm alive, that shit's gonna be alive too. It's something I say in the proposal, but I'll just add it right now because the video is already 10 minutes long, is I believe if we were able to create a creative tech platform, think about this. The Spotify CEO has already cashed out almost $1 billion worth of money off of enslaving you artists. So what if there was a tech company, and not only a tech company, but real legitimate backing and investment funding that could create a platform for the artist, almost exclusively for the artist and their ability to cultivate and create culture. And the tech is just, again, software, infrastructure, AI tools that are able to help the artist maximize that experience and bring as much of what is created on here into the real world to hopefully positively inspire a world that has been almost made dead either by social media or by the acceleration of our usage of social media by COVID and the lockdowns. I believe in this with my whole heart and soul. So I'm either going to be two things in this life: rich and famous because of the shit that I do for the people in this world, or a broke fucking junkie because capitalism does not give a fuck about me.